How you doing?
I'm trying to get this so it doesn't glare too much. Oh,
It's not. It was fine. It was
uh,
fine.
everything's going pretty smooth right now.
Good.
I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you and I'm smiling. Am I smiling? I guess I am. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're talking about your smiling right now and the choice of your smile. Listen, I was communicating with somebody today on one of my other platforms, and we were talking about awakening. And she gave the impression that when an individual's awakened, they have no choice in the matter. That it's just, and I told her that's just not the case. I said that God's in each person seeking to reveal himself, herself in that individual. So if we weren't frustrated, and I can speak to my own life, and I know you can speak to your own life, if I wasn't frustrated with the status quo, if I wasn't like disappointed with what was going on with life, I wouldn't have been seeking. If everything was perfect, there would have been no need to seek. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, you have to actually feel that in yourself that it is now my possession. And it is. It's your possession already.
Mm-hmm.
You're not waiting for anything. I waited for years. I didn't know what I was waiting for, but I was diligent in waiting. But I could never explain to myself what it was I was waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are people waiting for?
That's the question. And I don't think there's one answer for me. For example,
Uh, You're right.
when I was a kid, I had kind of stepped away from the church or what I knew to be, religion, whatever. And I told myself I wanted to have fun first before I came back and started doing spiritual matters. And it reminds me of a story that Neville told about a young man that was like 21 years old. And he said the young man, Neville was talking to him about, some Indian philosophies and some different things. And the young man's father was apparently a teacher in this stuff. And he said, they're old. I want to wait till I get old before I start doing some of that stuff, that spiritual stuff. He said, but right now I want to have fun. And he ended up dying shortly thereafter. I think a lot of times people's reasoning, sometimes like another person, when she made the transition and started speaking on the things that she discovered in her awakened state, she lost a lot of friends. So some people say, well, I don't want people to abandon me, whatever. So there's different reasons. And your reason for waiting could have been something totally different.
Believe me, you're one of them to completely ignore you.
We
I'm
don't think so at the time, though. We think that we need to have those people, affirming us, validating us. That's what we think.
we do that every week.
Yeah.
Do we not do that
Oh, we
every
do.
week?
We do, but it's not the same as friends and family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that people, I was talking to my sister years ago, and I was telling her about my Christian experience. And she said, if I make that change, what are my friends going to think? Now, she's since made that change and she can care less what her friends think. But when she was on the other side looking from the outside in, she was thinking she was going to miss something. And I think a lot of us think that we're going to miss something if we make a transition and we start looking at things from a spiritual perspective.
Really?
You'd be surprised.
Spiritual? Projective.
perspective.
Perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does that mean?
We're told to be in the world,
Mm-hmm.
not of the world.
Mm-hmm.
When we're not of the world, we're looking at the world from a spiritual perspective, not a humanistic reality, so-called. It's not that we're outside reality. We just know that reality is not controlling the show.
Right. And we gave them the show every night.
Yeah.
We actually handed you your salvation every night that we did this. Is that not true?
It's true.
I mean, we handed it to them. See, now what you do with it, you see, that's not our business.
True.
Our business is merely delivering to you your message, and that's all we're doing. We're not telling you what to think or anything like that.
Yep.
We just want you to understand that as you are thinking, that is your experiencing in your world of everydayness. If you change that thinking to any degree, you change your world of what you see, what you feel, what you have. And it's so simple, it's completely missed.
This is true.
That's it, isn't it?
It is true. Yeah.
It is so simple. And I've always, I've had requests. I wouldn't even know how many times I've been requested to tell them how it works. And I have told you how it works, but I can't work it for you. See, I can't do it for you. I can give you the information and then you do it. That's your responsibility. And you are responsible to feel after him, and you'll find him, and that's you doing, being, and having what? You're making up your own world of experiencing moment by moment because you're thinking ahead of the evidence that you will be experiencing right down the line. And that's everything. That's even my waving my hands. It had to be thought of first. See, if you ever catch yourself thinking something first that you already decided it's not good, drop it. Just drop it. That's all you have to do. That's all you're told to do. You turn to me, I'll turn to you, God says. What are you waiting for? It's only a one turning. Don't you get that? See, he is you. Yeah, I know that's hard to believe, but he is you. But he's letting you pick the route. You understand? You have total control over picking out the route you guys will take. Where are you going? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you know? Well, if you don't know, then sit down somewhere and figure out what is it that you do want. So that you know. So people come in for private interviews, and I'll tell you this, I think 8 out of 10 don't have any idea what they came for, really. Help, but help how? See, what they want you to do, they want you to do it for them, and there's nothing you can do. Look, you don't need to know me. I don't need to know you. You hear the message and you operate from the message. You'll find everything you want, everything you need is right there. Nearer than hands and feet. Come on, nearer than hands and feet, right with you. What does that mean to you when you're told that it's nearer than hands and feet? What would you imagine you're being told? See, that's a question, isn't it?
It is. It's a deep question, but I think that most people never contemplate the question or the answer.
And then if they even think they got the answer, they run.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You see. But where are you running to? Uh, Come on. If you're in a positive situation, you can easily be distracted long enough to get you into a negative
Mm-hmm.
situation. And if you don't catch it right away, then it starts building its forces to validate what they're saying. And there is no validation. But you make it up in your mind. And then you make yourself afraid. And then when you even think of just being afraid, that's enough. That's enough to turn you off and turn you over to negative thinking. We're told man is his attitudes. That'll tell you right there. That tells you the whole story, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
I mean, you go, well, look what an attitude he's got. Well, what kind of an attitude you got at judging his attitude? Look, you're on all the time. You understand that? You're on all the time. Every word out of your mouth, or even thought,
Mm-hmm.
is being broadcasted. And whatever it is, positive or negative, it'll start drawing to it what will lift up whatever you're thinking, feelingly. And that you're told very plainly, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Well, so is he, so does he, so has he. That's your whole story. You're making up your whole story right even while I'm talking to you. See, I can hear you thinking. I know you say it. Believe me, I know more what you're thinking than you do. And I got no special traits at all. I I'm just all I am. I'm learning to listen. See that's what you better learn to do. Better learn to listen, because you see, if you're not actually taking control, then your environment is taking control. You understand that? Do you understand what I'm saying? That your environment is actually telling you what's okay to say and what's not okay to say. Why aren't you chiming in there somewhere saying, whoa, I have a valid say? And it's what we've been telling everybody since day one. You have a valid say. And you're saying your valid say, but what are you saying with your valid say? You don't need to tell me or DeCarlo. All you need to do is to know what are you thinking feelingly about generally most of the time. If you know that and you approve of that, well, okay, that's your life, and good luck with it. But you you have to start learning to choose what you're thinking about. See, it doesn't just happen. I mean, see, what just happens is that your mindsets, they just pop in. No permission or nothing, they just pop in. And then they start building a case to support what negative's doing. Just just as Jesus will promote your living every day. But what are you thinking feelingly about? You see, because that's your guide. That's the route you're taking. You can't move your hand without thinking about it first. That's it. I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, and I listened to them
at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set, and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.